All right, Sarah, we got factoring polynomials. Okay, it's called a polynomial because it's got multiple factors happening. Okay, and we are factoring it because we are actually breaking it apart. We're going to make this smaller. So we're going to go to where it originally was, and then we used FOIL to create this. So we're going to work our way backwards. The first thing that we're always looking for is a common factor from all the numbers involved. Our goal is to not have any number here in front of this first variable. So we're always looking, how can I get rid of this coefficient? So I'm going to see, is everything in this problem a multiple of 7 so that I can get rid of it? And 44 is not, 35 is, so I can't just take out the 7. So I'm going to use a method. I call it slip and slide, and that's how I've taught it. Some teachers use different names. Basically, all the methods are the same. Because I cannot have a number in front of this k, I'm going to get rid of this, okay? And I'm going to slip this 7 all the way over here and multiply it by 35. Now, I'm not getting rid of the 7 in essence. I'm going to put it over here off to the side, and I'm going to need it later to complete the problem. But right now, this changes to k squared plus 44k minus 35 times 7, and 35 times 7 is 245. Okay, now in order for me to factor it, okay, so that's going to be 2 parentheses here, and I'm going to break this apart even more. And I do that by trying to find the the factors of 245. So what two numbers, if I multiply them by each other, would equal 245, and when I add them together, equal 44. That's the trick. So I'm going to do over here 245, and I like to just do factors. Some teachers teach it like this, and you'll put the numbers here to figure it out. I'm not sure, again, how he taught you, but I'm going to show you this way because I know it's easier for you. So 245, I know it ends in a 5, so that it is a multiple of 5. So I'm going to start there. And I'm going to say 5 times what would equal 245. Okay? I don't have my calculator, so I'm going to do this by hand. All right. Okay, and it's 49. So 49 times 5 equals 245. Yes, check. Does 49, because I'm going to have two different signs, 49 minus 5. 49 minus 5, does that equal 44? Yes. So the two things that I need to check are correct, right? So this is positive. So that means my bigger number is going to be positive. And because this is minus, I have to have one plus and one minus. So I'm going to plus here, minus here. Okay, my signs are different, and that's how I would have gotten negative here. Okay, and now I'm factoring it out. All right, so hey, k squared. So you get a k, you get a k. And then, like we said, 49 and 5 going here. 49 is plus, and 5 is minus. That's what gives me 44. Okay, and now I told you earlier, we can't forget about this 7 that we originally did the slip with. And now we're going to slide this 7 back here. And we're going to divide both of these numbers by that 7 that we multiplied earlier. Okay, so we call that the slip and slide method. So now I'm going to have k plus 49 divided by 7 is 7. K plus 7. And then k minus, well, 5/7 can't be made any smaller, and it doesn't reduce to anything lower. So this 7 is going to slip in front of the k, and I'm going to have 7k minus 5. And that is your final answer. So if I were to use FOIL, I would go k times 7k. 7k squared. K times negative 5, negative 5k. 7 times 7k, 49k. And 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. So if I were to join my like terms, 7k squared plus 44k minus 35. I'm only doing that to show you that we're undoing this problem, right? So this is the factorization of this polynomial, okay? All right, now we're going to do another one. And again, the same exact step. So I have 10. I need to get rid of it. It cannot be in front of here. So I'm going to say 10. Okay, is 13 the multiple of 10? Nope, I can stop right there, and I know I'm going to go slip and slide. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slip there. Right now, we got a whole lot going on here. We got x squared, we got xy, we got y squared. Okay, doesn't matter. We're going to complete this the same exact way, factoring everything out. So now I'm going to have x squared minus 13xy minus 30x squared y squared. And that's because 10x squared times negative 3y squared is going to give me that. Okay? And again, I'm going to factor. Okay? So I'm doing that same thing again. I've got 30. Okay? And I'm asking myself two numbers multiplied together that equal 30, and when I add them together, they equal negative 13. So I am going to start with 2 because this is an even number, and 2 times 15 is 30. Check. Is 15 minus 2 going to be 13? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. 15 and 2 are my numbers, right? And negative here and negative here, which means my signs are going to be different. This is negative, so my bigger number is going to be negative. My smaller number is going to be plus, okay? And that's because I'm going to need that negative here. All right, so now I'm going to factor out 2x squared. You get an x, and you get an x. And with 30, I had 15 and 2. The bigger number needs to be negative. So 15 here and 2 here. Okay, I didn't leave myself enough room right there, but that's going to be x, y there and x, y there because that comes with the 30, right? So 30, 15 times 2, and then x squared, y squared. You get an x, you get an x, you get a y, you get a y. Okay? Now, remember, we slipped with that 10 and multiplied, and now we're going to slide that 10 back in here and here. Okay? So 15 and 10 can be reduced, okay, by 5, and that's going to be 3 over 2. And then 2/10 is going to be 1/5 reduced. So now I've got x minus 3/2 xy and x plus 1/5 xy. Well, I can't have a fraction in here, so remember that denominator slides in front of my coefficient. I'm sorry, it slides in front of my variable and becomes the coefficient. So my final answer is going to be right here. Okay, I'm so sorry. 2 is going to slide in front. 2x minus 3xy times 5 slid in front, x plus 1y. And that is my final answer. And again, we're not going to do it again, but if I were to use FOIL, first, out, in, last, and multiply those things like we did up here, these two are going to be equal. One of them is just undoing the other. Okay? All right, we're going to do another one. And again, I'm starting here. I don't want a number here. 9, okay? Is 9 a factor of 9? Yes. Is 10? No. I have to slip and slide. So I'm going to go ahead and slip here and multiply. X squared plus 9x minus 90. Okay? Remember this little guy's still out here floating. I'm not done with him. I'm going to use him again later. Then we'll go over here. and I'm going to work with 90, okay, and try a few things. So it is even, so I would say 2 and 45. That is not close to 9, right? 3 and 30, not close to 9. 5 and 18, not close to 9. 6 times 15 is 90, and that 15 minus 6 is 9. So that checks for both things. And I'm going to come back over here and factor, right? X squared, so you get an X, you get an X. If this is subtraction, that means I have a plus and a minus. My bigger number is going to go plus, and so that's 15, and that is 6. All right, so now I have my 9 that I originally slipped, and now I'm going to slide that 9 under here. Okay, so 15 ninths can be reduced, and so can 6 ninths. Okay, both of them by 3. So 15 divided by 3 is 5. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. 3 divided by 3. Those are my new numbers. So x plus 5/3, x minus 2/3. I can't have the denominators, so I slide them in front of my variable. 3x plus 5 times 3x minus 2 is my final answer. Okay, and then you got one more over here, and I'm gonna start here with 24 because I don't want it there, right? So that's number 1. Even number. So that's good so far. I know that they're all even. So I'm going to take the smallest number and ask myself, are all of these multiples of 6? 24 is, but 40 is not. So the thing that I can take out of here is a 2. Okay? So this one's going to be a little bit longer. Also, every single one of these has an x. Okay? And so I can take out the smallest exponent. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take out 2x squared. Okay, 2x squared stays on the outside. And now I'm going to divide all of these things. That's why we learned about dividing exponents earlier in the week. Okay, so 24 divided by 2 is 12. X to the 4th power divided by x to the 2nd. Remember, when I divide, I subtract. So 4 minus 2 is x squared. 40 divided by 2 is 20. And x cubed divided by x squared is simply x. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. And the x squared divided by x squared is 1, which is nothing. Okay? There's 3 times 1 is 3. All right, so now I've got this new setup. This is just going to continuously come down because that was the greatest common factor of this. And I'm still in the same situation of having a number in front of my my variable. And so I'm going to slip and slide, same steps. Okay, so x squared plus 20x plus 12 times 3 is 36. All right, so now I'm doing the same thing as before. 2x squared just continues to come down. And I am going to factor. We know right now you get an x, you get an x, everything's plus, so I'm going to have plus plus. And I'm going to find out what 2 things multiplied by each other equal 36. When I add them together, equal 20. Okay, so I've got 2 and 18, and bam, I found it. Okay, 18 plus 2 is 20, and 2 times 18 is 36. So that's check, check. All right, because they're both plus, it doesn't matter which one goes first because they're both going to be added. So we're going to go here. And that 12 that I slipped with is also going to come back here and slide. All right, 2x squared stays on the outside again. And then I'm going to slide that 12 underneath, and I'm going to reduce. Okay, so 2x squared. 18 and 12 are both divisible by 6. If I divide them both by 6, I'm going to have x plus 3/2. And here, 2/12, I'm going to have 1/6. Okay, again, these denominators cannot be here. I am going to go ahead and slide them in front of my variable. And my final answer here, 2x squared, open parentheses, 2x plus 3, 6x plus 1. And that is your final answer. Okay, to undo that, you would FOIL this part. After you FOILed that part, you would multiply it all by 2x squared. And that's how you would end up right back here. Okay, so your most important things are your slip and slide. I'm going to take pictures of these step by step and send that to you as well. I hope that this helps you understand better, girl. Good luck.